Hey, mic check, mic check, mic check, mic check, mic check. What's good, everybody? You already know what it is. It's your boy SBO, and this is To Keep It Real with you. You know what I'm saying? And this is episode 11. And yeah, y'all, it's been a minute. And y'all know it's been a minute. It's been about 3 months. And so, as my viewers and all my supporters, I feel like I owe them an explanation. I feel like I owe a lot of people an explanation as to what's been going on. So, before I get into all this, because I already know how motherfuckers be watching this shit, if you don't want to watch all this, we're gonna make it into segments, and we'll we'll make the titles for them, so that way you know which section is what. So if you want to skip ahead this part, that's cool, that's fine. But this is for everybody who rocks with me, rocks with the podcast, and is invested in what we got going on here. And so I just want to go into things for you guys. Before we do all that, let me go ahead and take the shades off. That was really just to kind of make a grand entrance for y'all. You know what I'm saying? But oh, before we get into that, for the one time, hold on, let me. Hey, hey, hey. I had to get that in there. I'm sorry, y'all. It's been a minute, all right. Let me get the rust off. We'll get this going. But so yeah, like I said, a lot of stuff has happened. During the 3 months that we've been gone, I turned 31. It's all right. You know what I'm saying? Big Virgo season. Big Virgo. But yeah, I turned 31 over the break, and it's a lot of hindsight that I've been seeing, and just like a lot of growth. It's just like I look at my life as like a movie. It's a long story. It's a lot of ups and downs. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of things. But what I'm getting at is when I had my birthday, I went out with some friends and stuff, and it was a good time and everything. But I just really realized that I just don't do that anymore. I just don't do that stuff. Like I like being low key. And people that know me before, I used to be the opposite. I was in the mix with everything. Like I was always around people doing stuff. I was always doing something, but I wasn't taking the time to like build my actual life and like figure out what I was gonna do and just like handle my responsibilities. A lot of my 20s, I was putting off my responsibilities, and so I think I've just been in a different mode. I'm just in a different mode than a lot of people that I meet. And that's the reason why, I'm doing this dolo. You know, wish Mello the best. I do. We don't really talk as much anymore, and it's not really something to be putting out there. But, I wish him the best. There's no hate this way, but that obviously didn't work out. And obviously with DJ and Gavin too, that didn't work out too. But I'm starting to realize when it comes to this podcast and it being a business too, it's like I really can't just be slapping people together. I feel like that's really what I was doing a lot of the time. I was just slapping people together. And it's like I can't really be doing that because not a lot of people can, do this stuff. And not even me, like I haven't been consistent lately. I've been dropping the ball for y'all. I haven't been as consistent as I normally am. But nonetheless, like the passion and the drive to want to do this is there. But it's hard to get that with a lot of other people. And so over the break, it just kind of became clear that I was going to be doing this myself. And that's fine. Like, I hope y'all still tune in because, like, I'm going to still try to make this entertaining. The thing about me is just I got to, get a couple reps under me. But once I do, like, not to like talk my shit or anything or be like bragging, but it's like I do this stuff. I've been a content creator for years. You know, I'm kind of antisocial now, but when it comes to like being an entertainer, I'm on. I can do that. You know, then I'm not antisocial anymore. So it's like I don't know. That's like my one thing that I know I can do, and that's why I like doing this for y'all. And so that was some of the things that I had going on. My job, bro. My job was working me a lot. Like I'm working mad hours, 55 hours one week, 65 the next. I barely have time to do anything. And it's just like as an adult, you still got to handle your responsibilities and your priorities. And I feel like that overweighed me doing the podcast. But, once I got over some things, I had to get a new transmission. I had to drop about 5 grand in total for that. It was a lot of stuff, man. It's just like this wasn't. I'll be honest. This wasn't like my main priority. You know, it's tough for me when I am a creator, and even when I was a rapper, it's tough for me to like be creative when I'm going through shit bad. Like, I know most people are like, "Oh, you make the best stuff when you're going through it," and da da da. But that's just not me. You know, that's just not me. And so I had to kind of get things taken care of, square things away first, and just handle my business. The podcast had to take a little break. So I took a little break, but you know, it's not like the passion wasn't there. I just want y'all to know that like I do genuinely enjoy having this podcast and like doing this for people. Like I had people asking me all the time, "Yo, when are you going to get the podcast back?" And you know, that was really nice to have people check in and still say, "Yo, we're tapping in. We still want to see what, you're bringing in your content." And it's nice because like I know it's not a lot of people, but yo, people tune into this for whatever reason. People tune into this, and that means a lot because like I really, this is my outlet. You know what I'm saying? And so like the support that I get from y'all, I appreciate that, and I want y'all to know that I'm gonna be more committed to doing this podcast and be more consistent. I've been trying to make a lot of changes in my life. I've been working out more, and one thing that I am missing is my outlet, and this is my outlet. And so I owe it to you guys that are tapping in and making this something that you consume content wise. I owe it to you guys and to myself. I need to be better at making promises and like executing those promises and making good on those promises. And so yeah, like we back. We back. That's all I can say on that front. But like on another like little part of all of this before I wrap this up as to like kind of why another part of it was like I had been kind of down like for a little bit. I've been down, like I've been a little like kind of depressed if you will or out of it, and it's been tough to like really feel like, oh yeah, I'm that nigga, or like I feel good about creating and doing stuff when I'm just taking L after L in life, like just dumb stuff. And I hate to say this, but I've had to take the high road for a lot of motherfuckers and give them a lot of grace. I've had to give a lot of people grace. Now, like, I'm not gonna go fully in depth into some of the things that were going on with me, but like, it's frustrating as a grown ass man when I have to deal with other grown ass people who do childish things. Like, I have ex girlfriends that are going on the fucking T app and starting things and saying shit about me. It's like, what are we doing, fam? Not even just in my situation, but if you do that with other people, bro, that's the weirdest shit. Like, if you're an adult, act like it. You have a right to feel a way and be upset, but there is a way to like move past it and genuinely move past it. But like, I gotta deal with people that are grown adults doing childish ass things, and I'm just not on that type of time anymore. And so I refuse to be messy with them. But what they're doing like kind of takes a toll on me. Like I got people coming up to me saying shit, being like, "Oh, I seen you on there, da 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 da," because someone is saying things, and it's like it's tough because I've had conversations with this with my mom. It's like it frustrates me because my normal reaction is to want to like be messy and just do the most. But then I realize like as I'm getting older, I can't be doing that anymore. I can't be moving like that anymore. And like if you're an adult and you tune into this, I mean, I would hope you are the same way. Like, when you're an adult, bro, you gotta move like one. And I'm starting to realize that, like, it's still a process. I don't have it all the way down, but it's just like, I just don't need to go back and forth with people and get even. Because I ain't gonna lie, at the end of the day, I mean, I can sleep good about it because, yo, if I really think about it, I'm doing better than Shorty is. I'm doing better than a lot of people that try to smear my name and like say things about me. But I never flexed that. Old me would have definitely flexed that. I had to kill my ego because I had a big ego when I was younger. Like people who know me, yo, I used to be a cocky motherfucker, and that's the difference now. It's just like I've kind of went too reserved. I'm not like as cocky and braggadocious and stuff, and that kind of like makes me neutral. That makes me want to be neutral with things. It's I don't know. It's just all a tough balance when you start getting older. You just realize you can't move the same way that you used to. And so it's just like constant things like that, like dumb little situations or meeting people thinking they're one person and then they're not, like something completely else. And just interactions with females and stuff, I would say, is was really like it kind of took a toll on me for a minute because it's like, all right, I don't know if I can trust any of y'all anymore. I'm going through the most, like, if I could really tell y'all this stuff, but I would never because I'm just not that petty. But like, just know, like, I just don't know how anybody will react to the stuff that I've like experienced with women and stuff lately. It's the weirdest thing. So all in all, I'm just saying all of these things is what's kind of caused me to take a step back from the podcast because I'm like, yo, I can't focus on this stuff right now. Like there's other things that I need to focus on, and there's other things that I need to get ironed out first before I get back into this. But you know, I never really had much of a plan with this podcast. Like I did, and I kind of do, but at the same time, it's just like there's no like 2 year, 5 year, none of that. Like it's based off of just pure like creativeness and passion to create and entertain, and like it's based off that. I feel like when I got too business with everybody, that's when things started getting a problem, or when I held people accountable. Because I'm all about respect and I'm all about accountability. People can say what they want about me and tell me the worst things, and I will take that on the chin and listen to what they got to say. But just make sure that it can be the same way. I don't want to like hear the whole getting in your feelings and shit. Like that's the one thing like I want people to know before they do business with me, and just like in general, yo, like I hold people to a certain standard and I do the same. Like I reciprocate a certain respect. I'm wanting it back in return. I just don't do the goofy shit. And yeah, it's just been a culmination of things. But nonetheless, yo, story time's over. We back. You know what I'm saying? We back in this bitch. And let's get into some topics. You know what I'm saying? It's been kind of weird out here. Like I'm trying to like. I feel like the topics were just like very plentiful when I first started doing this podcast, and now it's just like I'm really having to dig because some of it I could talk about, but it's like some of it's kind of on some like some weird shit. So it's like I really don't want to go down that path. But all right. So our first topic we got Kai Cenat becomes the first streamer to hit 1 million subs. All the while, LeBron cuts off his dreads too at the end of it for making this accomplishment. I don't know how many of y'all tuned into this. Um, Normally when he does Mafiathons, I just watch clips and stuff. I'm not ever really watching it live. I don't know how it is for some people. It was kind of crazy, dog. I seen people older than me that were like trying to give people advice on trying to give people advice on their sleep schedules and how to match with it, and just like how to make sure you get the most out of the stream and shit. I don't know. It was wild. Like I didn't. I guess I never really realized Kai Cenat had that much of a following and like so much of an impact on people and people older than me too. Like that's the part that I really didn't see coming, but I still think that's dope. And I mean, as always, he had some crazy people on there. He had Victoria Justice. I remember that. Who else did he have on there? Kevin Gates. He had Miles, the NPC Miles dude on there again. And then who else did he? He had a bunch of people. I'm not gonna lie, I can't really remember like a bunch of them off the top of my head. But like the main thing was he hit the 1 mil, which was crazy. No other Twitch streamers ever done that before. And then LeBron made good on his promise. He ended up cutting off his dreads, and yeah, so now Kai Cenat It's added to the list of people who had dreads that don't anymore when it comes to streamers. We had Black Boy Max, DDG, and now Kai Cenat. And normally, like how the internet does, they made a fucking like thing with all three of them together and stuff, like the before and after things. I don't think he looked like Diddy. They were trying to say he looked like Diddy and stuff. I didn't really think he looked like Diddy, but it is kind of crazy. I've been thinking about that myself. Like I've been thinking about getting rid of my locks soon. It's just like it's just such a big transformation, but it's like you you know when it's time. You know, they're kind of a pain in the ass sometimes. Like they're always in your face. So I don't know. It can't be all that bad. I'm sure he's not tripping. But yeah, he was able to pull off some shit that no one else is any. He was able to pull off some shit no one's ever done before. Kudos to him. You know what I'm saying? He is. I mean, we have to say now, what probably the biggest streamer now. Like I don't know anybody else that's gonna be able to do that. But yeah, salute to Kai Cenat, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, let's give him a round of applause right there for that one. Wow, it's not even doing it. See, we're gonna get the hang of it. We're gonna get the hang of it, y'all. I'm telling you. Just stay with me. But now the next topic, this is one that like I really did not see coming. I've been kind of following this for the last like day and a half, 2 days that it's been happening. But DDG and J Cinco started beefing right. DDG and J Cinco started beefing right after they started their Capaholics content group, and it's been causing a lot of back and forth on social media. And people are kind of like doing a pick and size thing. People are picking DDG, some people picking J Cinco. And I guess what happened was J Cinco decided to back out of the Capaholics group, content group. They all got it was going to be a mansion, and they all got different rooms. You know, they're trying to recreate like an AMP style content thing. Understandable, smart. I mean, when you're doing groups and content creation, that's just always a good strategy. And yeah, I guess something happened where someone's manhood was tested between Jay and DDG, and so then he is pushing the narrative that he's standing on his respect and that he doesn't care about the money. He just cares about like doing things the right way and having morals. But then you got DDG on the other hand sitting here saying that he's lying, showing messages of him talking about Reggie's like deceased dad, and then does content with him in a gym and was saying that he was hypocritical for that. And it's kind of crazy because like both of these guys, they were like super close. The one thing I don't see a lot of people talking about, from what I remember, like just kind of like following on their little lore or whatever. Like I thought DDG didn't used to like Jay Cinco, so like I'm not surprised if he low key didn't like him before because I thought that's what it was when they first started like kind of streaming around each other. They didn't like each other, but I don't know. It's kind of a back and forth, and like if you look too much into one side, you can kind of see both sides because it's like I can see DDG has an ego, and like you kind of need to when you've been relevant since like 2014. Like he was self-made on YouTube, was very popular for years on that. Then he transitioned to streaming, and now he's becoming up there in the top. Like he's got to be in the top 10 streamers now, and it's just so I could see like he definitely has like that alpha mentality, and you kind of have to stay dominant in these type of spaces. Like you kind of have to have some sort of like edge to you. But I also can see where Jay Cinco is coming from because it's like you do want to stand on your respect and like not letting people test you and not letting people do fuck shit just for money and just be like, oh well, deal with it. You're gonna get this amount of money. It's not always worth it. So it's like I can kind of see both sides. But right now, I can't really see like, where exactly it stemmed from and like who is in the right in this. So that one I don't know. I'm kind of curious to think like I'm curious to hear your guys' like reaction on that too. So let us know in the comments. What do you guys think of this J Cinco and DDG beef? Do you think it's scripted? Do you think it's real? And who do you think's in the right? Because me personally, I can't really tell. I can't really tell who's in the right with this one. But we'll keep tabs on this. We'll keep y'all updated. But now we're gonna move on to the next one. This next one, bro, I just really I wish y'all could have seen the face I made like when I seen this little video. But our next topic is Aisha Curry says that Steph Curry doesn't understand her and that she never wanted the kids that she has, and she blames Steph Curry for not achieving her dreams. I think we've heard this narrative before. Like we've heard her say things like this before a couple years back. But the one thing that I just don't understand and the one thing I don't agree with, why are you publicly humiliating your husband who like is highly successful, and it's just like you're just coming off as a hater, bro. Like to your own husband. And you got to understand that's weird. Like I don't understand how these celebrities and like all these high profile people, how are you not like conscious of how that might look to other people? Like they just never think about that stuff. They just be talking out their ass. You put a microphone in front of them and they just be talking out their ass. It's like how as a wife do you even get this to come out of your mouth and like you say some stuff like that? Like it's just very reminiscent of Jada Pickett Red Table Talk days where she publicly humiliated the shit out of Will Smith. Y'all remember that? Like it's just man, you sound so ungrateful. It's like no one's keeping you hostage. You don't got to stay married to the nigga. Like you can leave. Like, but it's wild to me being a mother and being like, yeah, I never wanted to have kids and like just being nonchalant the way that she did. Like, I don't get that. Like, I really don't. And I really wish I could know like how he feels about that. Like when he sees this stuff. But then again, it kind of makes you wonder if he hasn't said anything. Maybe Steph Curry got a little side piece on the side. You know, he don't really care. Remember the shorty that looked at him in that finals game or like that playoffs game a couple years back? It was like a viral ass picture of shorty like looking at him like all sexy like while he was like on the court. Who knows, man? Greatest shooter ever. Shooter shoot. I'm sure he's effective. He's an effective shooter off the court. You know what I'm saying? So who knows? I feel like with these rich people, like they just have different dynamics than like normal folks. Like all rationality starts going out the window when you start making like dumb amounts of money. I feel like, but yeah, give it up to give it up for Aisha Curry, fucking publicly humiliating her husband once again. Yes. All right. Now we are gonna transition to the music. Now we're gonna transition to the music now. Yeah. Young Thug, he sells 52,000 first week and debuts at number 6 on Billboard with UI Scuddy. Um, I checked it out. I checked it out, and I don't know what's weird. The first time I listened to it, I was like, okay, he might have something. Like the first playthrough, I was like, I think he might have something. But then I ran through it again a couple of times, and I'm like, this really just does not have much replay value. And then everybody was talking about the first track on the song, like, which if you've heard the project, you know what I'm talking about. It's the one where he's sitting here, like, he said the hard R like 30 times at the end. And it's like, what the hell? And I know y'all seen the cover. The cover was him, like, white and like he always does this stuff. Like my man had a dress at one point on the cover of an album, so it's like shock value ain't really anything new for Young Thug, but it's just like very interesting approach with this project. I mean like a couple of them weren't bad. Um, I'm not really into this stuff because I'm not a street dude, but I know there was like a little bit of a moment because he did a song with YFN Lucci. They had like a whole beef, and that's who the like whole court shit was like based around. And so them doing a song together when they previously used to hate each other, and I think people lost their lives in their little in the middle of their beef. That caused a little controversy. Again, like I said, I don't really care. I'm not into that street shit. Doesn't really matter to me. That's kind of like someone the other day has said something, someone that's not street at all, but they were like, "Man, fuck Gunna, you know he a rat." Da, da, da. It's like Why do you care? Why do you care? Like me personally, I don't care. And if you ask me, I think Gunna's making better music than Young Thug. I really do. Like he went from like pushing this narrative against Gunna to him looking crazy with all them leaked jail calls, him talking shit about all these artists, and then like he had a falling out with Lil Baby and then his girlfriend and made like a 5 minute apology song, like apologizing to everybody. Like I don't know, real messy work from Young Thug lately, and it's just weird. These artists are like starting to do some weird shit, like, and it's the ones that have been established for a minute. Like they're starting to lose like that grip on their public perception. Like now they don't fully have control of their public perception. And so now like you could that's why he kept clarifying shit on Twitter. It's like I don't know. That shit was crazy. But I mean, shout out to him though, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to Young Thug. I mean, he did get he's number 6 on Billboard. Number 6 on Billboard. So hey, keep doing your thing. If he has more music, I'm gonna still check it out, obviously, but I don't know. It was an for me on that project, you know what I'm saying? But going into the next topic, what's funny is I remember in the beginning of this podcast, like when we first started this, the Diddy trial shit was going on, and me and the guys like purposely did not cover it because we didn't want to like wasn't even trying to make that something that I wanted to research and do all that and get into. But um, in case y'all didn't hear though, he did get sentenced to 4 years in prison. You know what I'm saying? I feel like we gotta applaud for that too. You know what I'm saying? The diddler got 4 years in prison, and I don't know. The crazy thing is, and I'm not even joking. Like y'all, when I was younger, like I remember people on like in my neighborhood talking about how Diddy was a weirdo and how R. Kelly was a weirdo and Jay-Z was a weirdo. Like this was all when I was young. Like we're talking like 10, 11, and stuff like that. So it's like this has been something that's been talked about amongst people for like years. And so now like all this stuff has come out like yo, there was video proof of him assaulting Cassie in that hotel and then just all the other weird stuff. It's like, look, I know technically there wasn't too much evidence, is what the court was saying, to support the trafficking or something like that. But I don't know. Me personally, I think yeah, I think bro needed to go to prison because it's just like you want some power trip, weird shit. Like I don't know. And it what's messed up is like once upon a time he was like a legend in the hip hop space. Like he was Biggie's right hand man, and but then once he died, you can kind of say he was kind of involved with that or had it, just real fishy stuff. And yeah, I don't know. He's just like over the years, he went from like being up here and just trickling down and just doing crazy shit. And yeah, just get him out, get him on out. So was not disappointed with this decision. Honestly, it was kind of crazy that he didn't get more. I figured he would get more, but hey, I don't know. I don't know too many people that are sad about this aside from Ray J. Ray J's like the only person I know publicly supporting bro. But yeah. So the next one, this next topic was kind of crazy. Cardi B had a leaked phone call where she was threatening to beat up Ice Spice, um, and then she was having a back and forth with Nicki Minaj on social media. And yeah, crazy, crazy month for Cardi B. She dropped her new album. I can't remember the name of it right now. I can't remember the name of it. I'm sorry, Cardi. But she dropped that. I think it did pretty well. But she was getting at a couple people on that project. I didn't really listen to it. Honestly, I'm not even gonna cap. I didn't listen to it, but I might have to check it out to like kind of understand what's going on with this more now. But basically, she was going at a couple people on this project, and for some reason, like the leaked phone call came out where she's going off on Ice Spice's manager, um, and said something about Lotto and was like, "Yo, I'm not pussy ass Lotto." And she's like, "I'll beat the fuck out of her." And then her manager's dumbass mentions something about her being in New York, and she's like, "Oh, she in New York? Tell her to pull up. Tell her to pull up." Like, yo, I will admit, I give Cardi B props for being the same way behind the camera, like literally the same way, like just ratchet as hell, turning up. It was wild, like it was like y'all definitely need to check that out if you haven't checked that out. But she's like telling her managers, "Yo, I'm not playing with her. She knows that I'm not the one to play with." All this other shit, really trying to be on shit. But then the Nicki Minaj shit, I think Nicki might have started that one. I'm not really too sure with that one. I just know they were going back and forth, getting real personal, like talking about like Cardi B said that Nicki Minaj was a drug addict and weirdo and saying all this stuff, and then Nicki Minaj was coming at Cardi B's boyfriend Stefan Diggs, calling him gay and all this other stuff. Real messy stuff. Real messy stuff. You know what I'm saying? You know, and people love it. People love it. I got to keep tabs on it though, you know, because there ain't really much going on out here. But I guess Cardi was just with all the shit this month. Like, I guess, because she's just standing on business, I guess. I don't know. Like, it was literally the phone call thing came out and then the Nicki thing, like, within days. And then JT, I think, was, I think JT made a diss about her, too. I don't know. The females is getting a little feisty. Females is getting a little feisty. I always enjoy though like a good little rap battle, like a little diss between the two. Like I know Megan Thee Stallion and Nicki Minaj did one at one point. It was slight. It didn't really go far, but like that was still kind of cool. I want to see like a Drake and Kendrick, but with female rappers. So like I don't know. Anybody else want to see that? I feel like that would be lit. I'm not gonna lie, yo. Let me know in the comments, yo. Would y'all want to see like a Drake and Kendrick type of thing going on, but with female rappers? Like, I think that'd be lit. It would have to be like Cardi B and Nicki Minaj. Those are like the two main dominant ones. I feel like Nicki is like Drake, and I feel like Cardi is like Kendrick. Where Cardi could come out on top over Nicki, but Nicki's still the goat. You know what I'm saying? Like I personally think Nicki Minaj is the best female rapper, but that's just me. But yeah, I don't know. We'll have to see with that. We will have to see with that. Now this next one, bro, these rappers are like down bad with these streamers. I swear to God they are, bro. Like they all right. So Lil TJ made his song and he just dropped it. It was called Ben Had Gigi. For y'all that don't know, Gigi is the name of Kai Cenat's girlfriend. And I think he's taking digs saying alluding to he was with her first or something or whatever. And then like yeah, he's been trying to get him to say stuff. And then Fabio Foreign like previews a song saying that his feelings was hurt that Kai Cenat didn't put him on Mafiathon and was saying, "Oh, you know, I'm the best. They should have put me on there." What is with y'all rappers, bro? Like low key, like I think the image is starting to change where like people aren't looking up to rappers. They're definitely looking up to streamers and content creators now. Because like rappers are like not keeping up with like the facade that they put off where they're like the coolest dude ever or like the coolest person ever or relatable. Like they just be on some weird shit sometimes. And like this, like y'all two making songs about a streamer and like getting your feelings about it and then alluding stuff like that's just mad corny. In my opinion, bro, I think that's mad corny. Like, and I'm sorry, both of y'all fell off. Like, who is checking for Lil TJ? Who the fuck is checking for Lil TJ anymore? Like, be honest. Who the fuck is checking for Fabio Foreign like that? I'm the real Black Boy Mac. What I'm saying, like, yo, y'all rappers need to tighten up, bro. Y'all need to tighten up because y'all are just like between Thug out here looking weird, then y'all are doing this shit. Rappers are just kind of losing points. I ain't gonna lie. Like streamers are starting to turn into the people that people admire, people look up to, people aspire to be. You remember in like 2016 to like maybe 2 years ago, everybody and their mama wanted to be a rapper. Now it's like everybody wants to be in content creation now, me included. But you know what I'm saying? It's just like this is more of the wave now. Being a rapper and stuff like it's not really like too aspiring now, and it's mainly because these main guys, these guys that are A list or just famous in general, y'all are just not good representation. Not good representation. That's why like Drake and Kendrick, those two kind of guys are like the epitome of like a top tier rapper, like a famous person when it comes to like music because they don't like they get messy, but not like this. You would never see them do some shit like this. And yeah, I don't know. Is that was mad corny. I'm not gonna lie. Y'all dropping them songs was mad corny. I didn't even check them out. I'm gonna be honest. I'm not trying to sound like a hater, but I didn't check them out. I don't know. Y'all need to do better. All right, now we about to hop into some life topics. These are some topics that are inspired by my life and by other people. Just kind of some questions that I want you guys to like kind of answer and just I don't know, kind of some things that I was kind of pondering myself. But so let's go ahead and get into the life question. So this first topic: is it okay to lower your standards when it comes to dating? And like, I feel like a lot of people are gonna have mixed opinions on this. Like, some people are gonna go one way, some people are gonna go the other. But for me personally, I have lowered standards in certain ways, not like completely, you know what I'm saying? But like, there's certain things that I've been like, okay, I've kind of overlooked that because it always comes from a place. It's like, who am I to judge? I don't want to be too judgy when it comes to dating and like meeting new people, you know? And I feel like that's kind of the baseline for a lot of people. But through experience and, lowering these standards down a little bit, it's been nothing but not good experiences. And I think the only issue is it's hard for people because it's a practice and it's something that you really have to stick to. Sometimes, like, if you get lonely, you're like, I'll be willing to settle it. Like, I'll be willing to look the other way in this aspect because I'm lonely or something. You know what I'm saying? But as a man, and I can only speak as a man, I don't know what it's like as to be a woman, but I'm sure it's probably not as different when it comes to men, vice versa. But it's not really good to lower your standards like in certain categories. Like if there's certain things that you feel strongly about, stand on that. Like for me, I don't know what it is, but a lot of the women that I've met lately, a lot of them stay with their parents. And I think for me, I cannot date a woman that does live with their parents. And I get it, yo, like, and don't get me wrong, not coming at you. If in a perfect world, if I could do that, I probably would for a little bit. I mean, probably not at this age, but like, I understand it. I have done it. I did it when I was like 24, 25. So like, I do understand it. But me, one of my checklists when it comes to women now going forward is just something that I've like kind of recently been like, all right, I'm not budging on this. I'm not I'm not dating or messing with someone that lives with their parents. I can't. You gotta have your own crib. You gotta have your own car. You gotta make your own money. I feel like these are good baselines, but that's just for me. Everybody's baseline is different. You know what I'm saying? Like what you have a baseline for might not be what I have a baseline for, vice versa. So just keep that in mind, y'all. But like for me, I already have all those things. I live by myself. I hold my place down myself. I hold my car down myself. I have certain responsibilities as an adult. I hold it down. Granted, yeah, I don't have kids. You can definitely make that an argument. Yeah. But I know people that don't have kids and it's kind of like the same thing. And it's just like, to me, if you're content with that, that just signals something that I just personally don't want to deal with. And I don't think there's anything wrong with having standards, low key. There's nothing wrong with knowing like what you want or what you are aspiring in someone. I don't think that's a bad thing. And that's kind of how I'm looking at it now. Like I've tried like looking the other way with other, with women that, they were living with their parents or they didn't have, their job wasn't, whatever. But I'm never gonna get what I'm looking for by trying to by like letting certain things like be okay or like getting involved with people like that. So no, I don't think it's okay to lower your standards in that regard. When it comes to things like that, I don't think it's okay to lower your standards. But again, like I said, that's just me. So if you have a different opinion on this, please let me know in the comments. Cause like, especially if you're a female too, that would be dope. Maybe you're seeing it a different way. Maybe you have a different opinion, and or if you're a male and you agree, what I'm saying, let me know down below because I think a lot of men can relate in that regard. It's more so because I'm in that situation where it's like I'm a single man, but I have a decent job. I'm in a certain position where it's like I can kind of not pick and choose, but it's just like I don't know. Yeah, I guess yeah. I can pick and choose like who I want to get involved with, and for whatever reasons. Like, and if I want the baseline to be like, yo, I would like it if you had the same things that I did. If you came with the car and your own place and your own money, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think that's asking too much. You know what I'm saying? Like, just meet me where I'm at. So yeah, that's just me. But so this next topic, this one, are you guys like? Are you able to spot the people that just want peace and the people that want drama? Because I feel like that is something as an adult, that is something that is important. You should you should be able to spot the people that want peace and want drama. And now some people can like thrive on drama, but I just don't see how as you get older how you can do that. I sure as hell can't. Like that, and that's why that shit changed in me. I went from super outgoing, wanting to be in the mix to like, let me be low key, let me do my own thing and like keep to myself. Like my circle is very small. And I'm cool with that. That's how it needs to be. But I guess I'm curious, are you guys able to see or like be able to differentiate the two? Because I will say like one thing, when you're someone that doesn't want drama, you gotta guard your peace. And it's like you can go from someone who was in drama, like drama, but if you find yourself kind of like shedding that a little and you kind of like you start valuing your peace and your alone time, or just like not talking shit about people or just being in the mix and stuff all the time, it's important to like align yourself with people that are like minded like that. Like it nothing makes me want to get away from people than like someone who loves to like get in the middle of shit or like start rumors or cause rumors or start narratives. It's like I just feel like we should just group all those people that like doing that shit, put them on one edge of the map, let them do that shit, and then all the people that like value their peace and just like aren't trying, you know what I'm saying? They're just all about like bettering themselves and just like or bettering, just bettering in other aspects. Let them all mingle together. But like it's tough, bro. Like, cause I meet a lot of people that like just love that drama. They love being the center of attention, love talking about people, love all that. And it's just like while I was that type of person, bro, like Nah, the peace is very important, bro. It really is. Like, and I just cannot fathom how some people, like around my age in their 30s and stuff, like can still move like that and still like have the little texting groups where they're just being messy and shit. Like, I don't know. So that's my question to y'all, and that's a topic that I wanted to bring up. Like it's important to spot the two, and like it's important to align yourself with people that are on the same type of time as you. And you really got to ask yourself, what type of person are you? If I said, like how I said before, if you are the type of person where it's like, yeah, you were a little messy before, but now you find yourself wanting to evolve and like you find yourself wanting to clean up your act a little bit, like I'll say me for instance, yo, I used to like, I'll admit it, I used to kind of be a fuck boy, and like I just had no goals and no like direction. But then like lately now that's all I've been focused on is like my direction, and I went from like taking life not serious to maybe taking it a little too serious at times, but nonetheless, I just can't be around like the drama, the messiness. I can't do that anymore. I can't. So if you're like that too, just guard your peace. You got to. And it's important to know the two. So remember that. Remember to be able to spot the two. That's all I can say. And this last one, the last topic before we end this episode, this one really came from where I've been in the like break, like in this hiatus. This came from the place of where I was, and it's pretty much more of a statement instead of like a question or a topic or whatever you will. But it's okay to be down at times, but it's always important to pick yourself back up. And like that is something that I had to just find out again. Cause during this break, like I said, bro, I was not feeling myself. I was in a dark place. I was working mad hours. I didn't have time to do anything. I'm just existing. There's no joy. A lot of my plans got ruined. Like I was supposed to go see my parents when I had the shutdown at my job, but my transmission took a crap on me. I had to drop 5K on that. Couldn't do that. So now I gotta wait till Christmas to see my parents. Like that's another thing that's like really kind of messing with me. I haven't seen my parents since March, and it's like I don't really see my siblings much. One lives in Texas, one is married and busy and does other things, and like my brother's young. And so it's like we're all doing different lives. But I was down. I was in a like dark place. I'm not gonna lie, and that's the one thing that like I pride myself on with this podcast with y'all. That's why I called it to keep it real with y'all. Well, to keep it real with you. Sorry, I'm just saying I'm keeping it real with y'all. But like I'm not I'm not the type of dude that's scared to put my like self out there and like let y'all know what's really going on in certain aspects of my life. But yeah, that's where this question like stemmed from though. It's coming from a place of just like, yo, when you're down, it's okay to be down for a little bit. You have to allow yourself that a little bit, recognize what it is, but then you also have to find a way to crawl yourself, like just crawl out of it and pick yourself back up. Like when one dope thing that happened when my birthday was coming up, my mom was sending me Amazon gifts every day leading up to my birthday. And the last gift that she sent me was these two microphones that go on, like, they're the wireless mics, the ones that people use for like IRL streaming and stuff like that. And she did like the little personalized note thing on it that you can send with Amazon. And she said something along the lines, I don't have it with me right now, and I'm not gonna get up and go get it and stuff. But pretty much what she was saying was, you have a gift, and like a responsibility in a sense to, do the podcast and just be a creator and just, you know, pretty much just like this is my thing and I need to get back to it. Like it was her motherly way of being like, I know you've been down a little bit, but it's time to get back to doing what you do best, like what makes you happy and like, she knows me. There are times where it's like, yo, I have highs and lows just like anybody else, and that's one thing I do pride myself on though. I am very, very resilient. And that's one thing that when I made this podcast, that's one thing that I did want to like kind of provide to y'all was that I'm the type of dude who blindly believes in himself and a lot of times that maybe I shouldn't. And I want to give that like feeling to you guys too. I hope I want to inspire you guys to feel the same way too because I feel like that's the only way you can get through these ups and downs in life. Like man, I've had so many ups and downs. I'm sure y'all have too. Everybody has. But it's just what's going to take you the farthest is building that resilience and being able to power through it and to be able to shock yourself and be like, wow, I really got through that. Like, there's been so many shitty things that happened to me, and I'm just like, wow, I really got through that. Like, at the time, I didn't think I was gonna be able to, but I did, and that's one thing that as a man I always pride myself on. I'm resilient as hell. I don't always know how I'm gonna find a way, but I do, and I like always wanted to be the type of person that like could inspire people to feel the same way. So all y'all that you know fuck with the podcast and you fuck with me, I want you to know you can do the same thing and you can feel the same way and you should. Like, give yourself time when you are down, but then pick yourself back up and do it and believe in yourself, falsely believe in yourself, or I'm sorry, blindly believe in yourself. Because there's, I've had my fair share of naysayers and it does mess with me sometimes, but it's like no matter what, I know a lot of that hate and stuff comes from the fact that I'm doing something that most people don't have the balls to do. They don't have the courage to do. It's just a pipe dream to them or just something that they wish they could do but they didn't. I know that's where a lot of the scrutiny like towards me comes from. And that's okay. Like I ain't even mad at you. I'm really not. But that's my last topic and like that's my last thing that I want to leave you guys with. It's like it is always important to pick yourself back up. Like you can't stop. No matter whether if you're in school and you're really going through it and you're getting burnt out, give yourself time to be burnt out. Take a beat. But then remember what you're working towards. Same thing if you just have a career or a job. Even when things are getting tough and like, yo, work's been kicking your ass, but you're saving up for a trip or you're saving up for something. Think of what you're doing it for. It's like we're all gonna have these moments in lives where it just kicks our ass, bro. Life's gonna kick your ass, and then you're gonna be down for a second. And it's okay to be down. I think it's when people beat themselves up about being down. That's the first step to making this shit better. Allow yourself to be like, okay, you know what? I'm fucked up right now. I'm a little down bad. I'm in the darkness, but I'm gonna constantly, day in and day out, make a conscious effort to pull myself back up, and then get back to where I was, and even be like better. You know, you just can't give up, and that's something that I've had to learn for myself, and something that I'm still teaching myself. Like it's a process, and it takes time, but this is my thing. This is what I like to do, and this is what makes me happy. And whatever your thing is that makes you happy, do that. You gotta focus on that. But just don't give up, y'all. I'm speaking more to myself, but I am speaking to you guys too because this is something that, I have to convince myself of as well, you know? But for real, same with y'all though. Like, you're gonna have hard times. You're gonna be down, but pick yourself back up. And that's what I'm doing with this podcast, y'all. For real. I was down. I was going through a lot of tough times, but we are back. I am committed to making this podcast back and making it work. As you can see, I'm a little rusty. It's all good. I hope y'all still rock with me. You know what I'm saying? Show some support. Hit that sub button. Make sure that like button is blue. You know what I'm saying? Let me know your thoughts and your comments on any of the topics that interested you on today's podcast. And yeah, man, just be looking out for the shorts as well. We will be back hitting that. And yeah, I missed y'all. I missed y'all. It's nice to get back to this. And for all y'all that tap in, that watch the full video, or just, clips or whatever, any of y'all that are still showing the channel some love, yo, we greatly appreciate you. And yeah, until next time, I'm your boy SBO, and this has been To Keep It Real with you.